Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's Headmaster's blog. It's Friday, the 29th of April, and a busy week it has been too. Looking back to the end of last week, our first week of the summer term, it was really rewarding to see all the enjoyment on the faces of the pupils after their trip to Back to the Future up in London, which, of course, you will remember if you're a parent in that cohort, was inexplicably postponed at the last minute last term due to a mix-up. So I'm really pleased for all of the boys and girls that they were able to get up to London to town to see such a magnificent show. Thank you very much to Mrs. Hawley for organising it and all of the accompanying members of staff. And I suppose at this point I should just labour the fact that actually arranging a trip in this day and age is not as straightforward as picking up the phone and booking some tickets and off you jolly well go. It takes many hours of prep, all sorts of forms, all sorts of risk assessments, not to mention all the finances and transport involved. So a massive thank you for what seemed to have been a really well received trip. Equally, our Year 9 and 10 historians ventured up to the Imperial War Museum with Mrs. Hornstetter on Tuesday, and that is a fantastic place to spend a few hours, and I know that they've come back feeling extremely enriched from the experience. So likewise, thank you very much to Mrs. Hornstetter for taking the time and the trouble to give the students that sort of historical context for their studies. It's certainly been missed over the last few years. Also, Mrs. Hornstetter gets her own mentions in dispatches because all of our Year 10 pupils have undertaken their PowerPoint presentations for the higher project qualification over the last few days, and she has, I think, manned the vast majority of those. It has been really rewarding for her, I know that because she has told me firsthand, to see how the boys in particular have risen to the occasion. Jess, notwithstanding your contribution, because I know that you're going to be doing yours next term. But she has been really pleased with the amount of effort put in, the quality of the presentations and the confidence displayed in all of those who were talking in front of the panel of judges. So well done to each and every one of you, and I very much hope that your essays are just as good and that you manage all to obtain the qualification from AQA in due course. On Wednesday, Mr. Mitchell led an assembly about this term's quality of endeavour, and he cited the American politician and civil rights activist John Lewis, who was a contemporary of Martin Luther King, and somebody that we don't know too much about. So Mr. Mitchell unravelled the mysteries of John Lewis and a very fine legacy he has to boot. And Mrs. Wraith also talked about our quality of endeavour for the term and talked about the importance of the boys and girls cultivating that growth mindset philosophy in all that they do, which is very much a part of the tapestry that we lay the foundations for in lower and upper prep for seniors. So thank you very much to Mrs. Wraith and Mr. Mitchell for doing that. And on Thursday, I hosted two visiting head teachers. We had visitors from Twickenham Prep School and also from Wimbledon Common Prep. So it was really wonderful to be able to showcase our school, and all of the boys and girls, of course, did themselves proud, great ambassadors, and equally they have done so this morning as well. We've had a very busy open morning here. Fortunately, the weather has just about held. And of course, we have seen a working school which really brings all of the human aspects of what we do here at Kingswood House very much to the fore. So all of those visiting families, I think, took away an excellent impression of the high quality, high calibre work that we do with the boys and girls on a day-to-day basis here at KHS. Just a reminder that we have a bank holiday on Monday, so there will be no school. And equally, I wish all of the pupils who are undertaking their exams in Year 9 the very best wishes for next week, and equally the Silver Duke of Edinburgh candidates who are going off on their first expedition of the summer with Miss Patel. Right, on to our first dispatches for this term. So well done to all of reception for settling back in so well, says Mr. Clerk. They've remembered their routine. Well done to Phoebe Whiting for her excellent Easter holiday report from Mrs. Lambert, to Beatrix Slade for helping someone else at swimming, and to Mahe Nyanmar for great determination in the pool as well from Mr. Hendry. Well done to Alex Leslie for settling in well to Year 4. Never easy to start in a new place, and he's done very well, says Miss Smith. Zach Darwan, great to see you back in Kingswood House colours, settled back in quickly, real positive attitude, says Miss Forbes. Ollie Rosendale, very good start from you this term, reports Miss Sumners. Jamil Hashemi, a distinction in his grade 5 violin. Brilliant work from you, Jamil, well done. And Eddie Bishop, an award-winning smile. General happiness he exudes on a day-to-day basis has captured the imagination of Mrs. Lindley. Jensen Webble, great start from you in 6S, showing great confidence and integrating really well with the rest of the class, reports Madame Swift. Alex Forbes in particular gets a mention for being Jensen's buddy. Rex Treadwell, awesome explanation in science last week, says Mr. Barrett. And Mrs. Wraith is very pleased with all of 7BA for their work on Mondrian trees in art. And Ollie Fry, well done to you for all of your hard work in French, says Madame Swift. Max Podoricic has made his own chessboard with all of the pieces for the form to play, says Miss Black. Hussein Khan wanted to include all of the class in his birthday celebrations. Really, really good to hear that. I love the inclusivity there. And Gabriel Clark going over and above with his learning vocabulary for French, reports Madame Taylor. Harry Peters has started the term in 7P with a new wave of confidence. Keep it up, Harry, urges Miss Patel. Well done to Will Baker in 7P, 7BA set, I think, who's done very well with his shapes this week. And both 7BL and 7P have done really well with their revision sessions over the last week, says Mr. Lordy. Well done to Harry Lation, who settled in really well back into school in 8F. Lovely to have you back, Harry. Goodness me, you have grown. Theo Walker, very mature and insightful contributions in PSHE, says Mr. Lordy. 8T generally have really impressed Madame Taylor. They participated very well in a choir session in their form rooms, and the overriding favourite was a sing-along to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. So well done to you. That brings back a few memories, doesn't it? Into the seniors, Lewis Collett, showing a great caring side to his personality, says Mrs. Bray. Fazan Jarwed, Rui Fitzpatrick settling in well to the new term, says Mr. Hendry. Tommy Wood trying hard in art, reports Mrs. Wraith. Mingwan Kim, a brilliant attempt at a 12 marker in a history GCSE paper, showing great progress, reports Mrs. Hornstetter. And Tommy Wood, another nomination for you. Real dedication to work on Macbeth over the holiday for Mrs. Bray. Nathan Asher, well done to you for your maths from Mrs. Lindley. James Kilkenny, Ollie Gow, Rui Fitzgibbon and Ben Holmes, all of you for your science clinic work this week. Well done from Miss Black. Well done to everybody for their HPQ presentations. As I said earlier, Mrs. Hornstead is really delighted with your efforts. And in Year 10 Maths, Anthony Minnick and James Giles have caught the eye. Ted Hartley, Ted Reed have shown real citizenship, volunteering their time over the holidays to create a willow play structure for a local school. The boys were not afraid to get their hands dirty, and over the course of a few days completely cleared an area and constructed a whale for the kids to use. A really good use of values and their volunteering skills for DofE. Well done from Mrs. Weston and indeed from me. Barnaby Hill, a great drive towards his planning for the upcoming DofE expedition. Great to see how motivated he is, says Miss Patel. And Will Moffat has volunteered to take part in his work experience at a local constabulary. So telling Miss Black all about it. Well done to you, Will. Ali Dawson, well done for coping with the demands of the GCSE coursework in a mature way in DT from Mr. Bailey. Max Mitchell-Nesbitt in 11B, continuing to set the standard for good manners. And Jack Beckman, really good confidence in science this week. It shared some 6-mark answers to the questions. Well done, Jack. Mrs. Wraith, very pleased with all of her form for their hard work last term and contributions continuously in form time in PSHE, which of course don't necessarily carry any academic currency, but they certainly do in terms of humanity, citizenship, and the kind of role models that we want to see at the top of the school. And Cameron Allaby, well done to you. Very good work in your maths. Feeling more confident in terms of asking questions to improve his own ability, and the improvement has been marked and noticed. Just a plea now for Year 7 and Year 10 parents and pupils. We're getting to that time of year where we're asking all of the Year 7s and 10s to put themselves forward for positions of responsibility for the new academic year. Now, as ever, we don't give prizes for everybody in this. It is a meritocracy, so the better your applications, the more chance you'll have to reach the interview stage. The more you prepare for the interview stage, the better chance you'll have of being awarded a prefect's tie or more. So please do put yourselves forward. You have nothing to lose. And of course, it is a lesson in life. The more you work at something and the more you want it, the more of an emotional investment one has to make. But that is exactly the same concept when you are applying for university, going for your driving test, getting married, going for jobs, and this is the learning curve. So like I said last week, this is the kind of place where we want you to make those supported actions so that if you do well, you get the reward, and if you don't do well, we're there to support you and help you the next time around. So all of you year 7s and all of you year 10s, please take the initiative, work on your applications for a position of responsibility for the new year, and I very much look forward to meeting with Mr. Clark and Mr. Sitdeo to go through those in due course. So a reminder, no school on Monday, it's a bank holiday, enjoy the weekend, and we will see you on Tuesday.